Hi there, thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, Chapter 10, Further Use of the Will. So yesterday we talked about Chapter 9, How to Use the Will. So in this chapter, we are going to be covering the further use of the will. So again, yesterday we talked about not talking about the opposite of what you want to accomplish. So if you want, if there's something you really want, whether wealth, health, or happiness, you think only of those things. No opposing images, whether external or imaginary. So when you say external, so it's when you watch TV or when you're probably reading a magazine or a newspaper, anything from an outside source would be an external, and then anything imaginary would be something that you yourself put in your own thought. Okay, so if it's not in harmony with what you want to accomplish, if it's not in harmony with the things you want to redirect your thoughts to only the things that you want. And the next point in this chapter is to not talk about your troubles, whether your past troubles, your present troubles, or your imagined future troubles. So you don't want your thoughts going in that direction, because you know what happens, right? Where you direct your thoughts, you put energy into that, and you don't want that. You don't want more troubles in your life. So absolutely no thinking or no talking of your troubles. You can probably think about it for a short bit, but don't dwell on it, and absolutely no talking about it. And the third thing is, look for the good in everything and everyone. So there's the law of polarity, or the law of opposites, that state that for every bad there's an equal seed of good. So there's an opposite to everything. So when something seems bad, just look harder and you'll see that there's also good in that. So, and there's a saying that goes something like, for every difficulty lies an equal seed of opportunity. So always keep that in mind. So whenever something seems bad, again, you will find the look for the good and you will find it. So another point is to not give your time and attention to anything that will pull you farther away from the things that you want. So for example, don't get yourself in the middle of people gossiping, or if it's maybe reading newspapers or watching TV that are getting your attention, and then that attention is going towards somewhere that is not headed in the direction of the things that you want. So do not give your time and attention to it. So you gotta redirect your thoughts again and use the power of your will. Another point is to you wanna inspire others by becoming your best version, and finding yourself out of a less than desirable situation and instead moving towards a better position. Another point is that you always want to operate in the creative thought as opposed to competitive. And always think in terms of, how can I, by following my passion, or by by doing what I love, can help others win in the process. So say for example, you love cooking, so you might wanna start up a restaurant, and so by you following your passion, like say for example you love cooking, right? So you're following your passion, your passion for cooking by owning a restaurant, and having people enjoy your good cooking. So it's all a win-win-win situation, because you get to follow your passion, and people benefit from that, and then at the same time you're making money off of it. So nobody loses, everybody wins in that scenario. And by operating on a creative stream, you free yourself from competitive battles or rivalries. So in this chapter, further use of the will, we are reminded to again fix our thoughts only on the things we want, and close our minds to anything that may shake our purpose, dim our vision, or quench our faith. And the author also wants us to ingrain in our minds this one truth, and this truth is that there is no poverty, there is only wealth. And he also stated that when people are in poverty, it's because of one of the three things. So the first is, people are in poverty because they are not aware that there are riches available to them. And then the second thing is, they may be aware, but they are lazy to put in the mental effort it requires for them to take the necessary steps for them to get out of their current situation and move on to a better place, better place in life. And then the third is that they study and implement many different but contradicting methods, and doing that, they tend to get lost in their own maze and not knowing which path to take. So they get lost and they get confused. So how do you get rich using a scientific method? So Wallace Wattles recommends reading the Science of Getting Rich book every day. Read it every day and commit it to memory. So he says to not think about other methods or theories. So he recommends in this book to just stick to this one book for now until you've gained what it is you're after. Because the thing is, if you study many different methods, or there are many different theories, it will create doubts in your mind. And as we've covered in yesterday's chapter, when you have doubts and fears, it pulls you farther away from the things that you want. And so you don't want to negate that. So you want to keep that mental picture in your mind very clear and defined. And so when you have that, you don't want to have any doubts. You want to have unwavering faith. And by doing that, you need to be following just one method, and don't get into any contradicting methods. So you're gonna be following just one system. So after you've gained what it is you're after, then you can study different materials if you still wish, and grow yourself from there. But until then, you want to follow just one system until you've gotten the results that you're after. So he also spoke of people dabbling in things like contacting the dead for help. So he said to just leave them alone and mind your own business. Towards the end of this chapter, he reminded us of the three basic facts, and that is that one, that there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made, and which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. And then the second is, a thought formed in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. And then the third thing is that you can form things in your thoughts, and by impressing your thoughts upon formless substance can cause the thing you think about to be created. So keeping these 3 basic facts in our thoughts, we also should see to it that we are also living and acting in the certain way. So to end this chapter, there's this one exercise you might want to follow. You might want to do in order for you to release your past. Step 1 is make a written description of your upbringing. Were you poor or middle class? Was there lack or limitation? So just make a description of that. Step 2 is that now that you've already written your past, the way you were brought up, promise yourself never to think or speak of your past in that manner again. And step number 3 is fill your mind with thoughts of good times. So let me leave you with this quote from Wallace D. Wattles.
By thought, the thing you want is brought to you. By action, you receive it.
So there. So now we understand how sometimes we are longing for something and for some reason we're still not getting it. So it said that by thought, we bring it closer to us, right? So we can keep thinking about something that we want, but then if we're not gonna take action towards it, we are not gonna receive it. Say for example, it's kind of like how, say for example, an employee is aiming for this the next level position, and in that person's mind, they're just thinking that, oh, I want that position, but then at the same time, the position opens up and that person didn't do anything to ever go up that level. So even if the material that he wants is already there, he is not going to receive it because he didn't take action towards it. So that's it for chapter 10 in The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. I hope you enjoyed today's chapter, and I hope to see you on the next vlog. Take care and have yourself